Boiler season is officially upon us. It has been since the beginning of August, seemingly. We've been rocking and rolling with about a boiler every 2 weeks. On the menu today is another Weil McLain, of course. It's a WGO3 oil. We have our near boiler piping picked out, all our black iron stuff, male adapters, isolation flanges, purgers, zone valves, all the typical goodies. We're going to get some prep work done on the boiler in the beginning part of this video. We had a light day one afternoon. So we're going to get a lot of the near boiler stuff done and installed on the boiler to make our lives easier when the install date comes around. We've always taken pride in our mechanical installs like boilers and central air conditioning, but over the last few years, we've tried to up our game even more. We buy a lot of Webstone products to aid in service and repair in the future, and I think that kind of elevates our install to the next level. So this little 1/8-inch isolation valve for the automatic air vent is definitely a nice touch. Weil McLain has started offering 007E Taco circulators out of the box with all of their oil boilers. This circulator is fantastic. It's proven to be super reliable and very, very energy efficient. It saves a ton of money on operating costs over the course of the season. We've used a bunch of the E circulators, including the 0015E, as well as the larger 34 and 26 for some commercial applications. Yeah, quadruple XL. John Boy's got the F3 Riello apart. We're setting it up for the 3R spec, which is a 6560B nozzle. They include 3 or 4 different nozzles in the box to use with a 3-section up to a 5-section Weil McLain. We find that the Riello runs best on the 3-section instead of the Beckett. So in our experience, that's what we install. We use the Becketts for pretty much every other oil model that Weil McLain offers. Here we're using our PowerMate electric hand truck. The boiler is very heavy, and it would be basically impossible to lift this thing into the van without it. So this is a really, really critical piece of equipment for us installing boilers in different areas. Ready? Yeah. I can't help but laugh at a lot of installations that I see. A lot of the stuff that gets done just makes me scratch my head, like putting the boiler and water heater basically in the middle of the room in front of everything and in everybody's way. The only reason I can see for this is that the chimney was closer this way, but we solved that problem pretty simply, and you'll see that coming up soon. The strap that I saw. I was going to say, I didn't see anything hanging down. This, for me, is where the benefits of pre-prep really come to light. I realize the time spent at the shop is still time spent, but there's tons of room. All my materials are right there in front of me. Nothing is in my way. It's just easier, and it does save us time on site at the location while we're putting the boiler in. When the water heater gets installed, you realize that there really isn't a lot of space on the return side of the boiler for me to do all this work. And having a lot of things put together as one unit already definitely is less aggravating and faster. Part of the reason why I'm able to do a lot of this pre-prep work is because I've seen the homeowner's basement and the area that the previous boiler was installed, so I know what I'm up against before I get started. If I wasn't able to take a look at the job site, then I probably would do far less prep work, because what would end up happening is I would get there, not be aware of what would need to be done, and then a lot of that stuff that I just did would be all for naught, and I would have to redo it. No!
It's time. Pro Plumbing Job. The sauce, you would ever taste it, sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy.
Not much soldering going on boiler installations these days. This is kind of a tradition for us. Put sweat Honeywell zone valves in, and damn, these ones are looking good. Your solder job is not complete, however, unless you wipe down your joints with a wet rag to get that excess flux off of them. Piping, filling, and purging the boiler is the first thing on my to-do list. This way we can get pressure on, test for leaks, and if there is one, we can fix it right away. Once the pressure is on the boiler, I can start doing other things like wiring or setting up the burner. It just is helping in the name of efficiency so we can get problems resolved quickly. Johnny Boy is doing the line voltage, and I'm in the foreground doing the low voltage to the thermostats and zone valves. Usually we are labeling the existing thermostat wires so we know that they go to the correct new zone valve motors, but if I get excited and I forget to do that, then we'll do a continuity check on the existing thermostat wires. I usually label the zone valve heads, number 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, and then I'd label that corresponding motor to the wires so that when I zip tie them all together, I don't lose track of them. Once that stuff is all done, we'll get everything wired up, and I'll run wires from the transformer to the zone valve and thermostats by the supply piping, and we'll also get the TNT from the end switches down to the aquastat relay. Once the smoke test comes back good with a trace of smoke, we can put our combustion analyzer into the flue. I've gotten a video request from a guy that gave us a call at the shop to do a breakdown on combustion analysis, how to do it, what you're looking for. So this season, we will definitely be dedicating a video strictly to that.